Hi, this is Jenny from Central Church with today's daily dose coming from Judges chapter 7, the battle with Midian. Then Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, and all of the people with him rose early and set up camp beside the Harod spring. Midian's camp was north of theirs in the valley by the Mohar hill. The Lord said to Gideon, "You have too many people on your side. If I were to hand Midian over to them, the Israelites might claim credit for themselves rather than for me, thinking, 'We saved ourselves.' So now, announce in the people's hearing, anyone who is afraid or unsteady may return home from Gideon's mountain." At this, 22,000 people went home, and 10,000 were left. The Lord said to Gideon, "There are still too many people. Take them down to the water, and I will weed them out for you there. Whenever I tell you, 'This one will go with you,' he should go with you. But whenever I tell you, 'This one won't go with you,' he should not go." So he took the people down to the water, and the Lord said to Gideon, "Set aside those who lap the water with their tongues, as a dog laps, from those who bend down on their knees to drink." The number of men who lapped was 300. And all the rest of the people bent down on their knees to drink water with their hands to their mouths. Then the Lord said to Gideon, "With the 300 men who lapped, I will rescue you and hand over the Midianites to you. Let everyone else go home." So the people gathered their supplies and trumpets, and Gideon sent all the Israelites home, but kept the 300. Now Midian's camp was below Gideon in the valley. That night the Lord said to him, "Get up and attack the camp, because I've handed it over to you. But if you're afraid to attack, go down to the camp with your servant Purah, and you'll hear what they are saying. May you then get the courage to attack the camp." So he went down with his servant Purah to the outposts of the armies that were in the camp. The Midianites, Amalekites, and other Easterners were spread across the valley like a swarm of locusts. Their camels were too many to count, like the grains of sand on the seashore. Just when Gideon arrived, there was a man telling his friend about a dream. He said, "Get this, I had a dream that a loaf of barley bread was rolling into the Midianite camp. It came to a tent and hit it, and the tent collapsed. In fact, it rolled the tent over upside down so it fell flat." His friend replied, "Can this be anything other than the sword of the Israelite Gideon, Josh's son? God has handed over Midian and his entire camp to him." When Gideon heard the telling of the dream and its meaning, he worshipped. Then he returned to the Israelite camp and said, "Get up! The Lord has handed the Midianite camp to you." He divided the 300 men into 3 units and equipped every man with a trumpet and an empty jar with a torch inside each jar. "Now watch me," he ordered them, "and do what I do. When I get to the outpost of the camp, do just what I do. When I blow the trumpet, along with all who are with me, then you blow the trumpets, all of you surrounding the whole camp, and then shout, 'For the Lord and for Gideon.'" Gideon and 100 of his men moved to the outpost of the camp at the middle watch of the night, when they had just changed the guards. Then they blew the trumpets and smashed the jars that were in their hands. So the 3 units blew their trumpets and broke their jars, holding the torches with their left hands and blowing the trumpets in their right hands. And they called out, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." Each man stood fast in his position around the camp, and the entire camp took off running, shouting, and fleeing. When the 300 trumpets sounded, the Lord turned the swords of fellow soldiers against each other throughout the whole camp. The camp fled as far as Beth Shidra toward Zerah, to the border of Abel Moholo beside Tabith. The Israelites from Naphtali, Asher, and all of Manasseh were called out, and they chased after the Midianites. Then Gideon sent messengers to all of the Ephraim highlands, saying, "Go down meet the Midianites and take control of the Jordan waters as far as Beth-barah. And they took control of the Jordan's waters as far as Beth-barah. They also captured 2 Midianite officers, Orb and Zeb. They killed Orb in Orb's rock and killed Zeb at Zeb's winepress. Then they went on chasing the Midianites, and they brought the heads of Orb and Zeb to Gideon on the other side of the Jordan.